covering the islands of the Bahamas. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Good evening and welcome to The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Kishla Adderley. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news tonight, results released today show improvements in national examination performance. But Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald says fundamental changes to the education system are still needed. Janaea Noel Ferguson has a breakdown of the numbers in this report, along with what's being done to optimize learning.
Many of the students exiting Bahamian high schools today are not prepared for a 21st century workforce. And Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald says a lot of work still has to be done when it comes to education. But despite all of this, Fitzgerald said that results from the 2012 BJC and BGCSE exams shows an improvement in the overall results.
That the percentage of grades awarded at A and B has increased, while the percentages of G and U have declined. This is the desired result which we wish to see, and we wish to continue to build on this. The highest percentage of grade awarded remains at C.
Now, 9,009 candidates sat the BJC exams, and 6 of the 10 subjects showed an improvement in grades when compared to last year. A total of 1,895 candidates received a minimum grade of D in 5 or more subjects. This was slightly less than the 1,902 candidates in 2011. The average grade for English in the BJC was a D+, an increase from a D of last year. In mathematics, the average grade was a D-, an increase from an E+ last year. And as for the BGCSE examinations, 7,117 candidates participated and showed improved performances in 19 of the 27 subjects. The average math grade increased from an E- last year to an E+ this year, and the average English grades remain at a D from 2010. The BGCSE results also showed a decline in grades for 6 subjects, including biology and chemistry.
An improvement is noted in the overall performance of schools throughout the country. But while there's been improvement, we at the ministry are not satisfied that our graduates as a whole are sufficiently equipped or prepared for the 21st century workforce. Therefore, we still have a lot of work to do and a very long way to go. We accept that reading, grammar, and mathematics are weak, and we know that we have to create a stronger foundation. So starting this September, we have doubled the reading periods for all grades 1 through 3 and increased the mathematics periods by almost 50%.
The Minister of Education says he was unable to give a national average at this time and would have to inquire why this was stopped. Mr. Fitzgerald, however, says he is committed to doubling the investments in education and will also seek to implement a standardized diploma from high school students in the next few years.
We know on average that we're to the point now where I think almost 50% of our students in the government school are not graduating a standardized test. We will start testing students this year from grade 9 to see what level they are at, so we could begin to have a curriculum and course in place next year so that we can begin to assist them in areas where they are deficient. So at the time when the high school diploma comes online in 2015 or 16, we at least know we've put them on a course to give them the best chance of graduating.
Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS News.
7 people were shot when rival groups opened fire at a Union Village park overnight. Police say they're still searching for suspects as they probe this and other weekend acts of violence. Fern Carey has this update.
Police say the 3 women and 4 men injured during that shooting incident while at a festival on Union Village Road Monday night are still being treated for the injuries in hospital. Festival organizer Quinton Pacenti says the incident unfolded around 11:30 p.m.
The day was rather successful. We had a fun event. All of the families came out, participated. It was an uneventful day until after 11 p.m. when we had a few unscrupulous characters who came out and fired some shots amongst a group of people at the end of the corner.
Now, the motive for that shooting is still unclear. However, police are investigating. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson.
Our information is telling us that there was an altercation between two groups of young men when this shooting took place. And we continue to encourage members of the public to provide us with any additional information that they might have that would assist in this investigation to bring forth those persons who are responsible for this serious attack. The second incident took place at R. Bailey Park, where a 36-year-old male was stabbed in the abdominal area. And this took place around 12:33 a.m. on Monday, the 6th of August, where he was attacked by some young men while attending a function there. And a second incident that took place at R. Bailey Park was where a 46-year-old male who was stabbed in the forehead by one of three men who attacked him.
Meantime, that 36-year-old man stabbed in the stomach at Aaron Bailey Park is listed in serious condition. Regarding that murder over on Cat Island, a young man is expected to be arraigned in the Nassau Street Magistrate Courts Wednesday in connection with that incident.
It is unfortunate that we still have some young persons in our community who would attend functions where decent persons are, and their sole purpose is to create fear. I will say that this will not be allowed, as we will not sit by and let criminals disrupt the family setting.
Now, despite this unfortunate tragedy, Paseni says the festival will still be held next year, although efforts will be made to beef up security. Farron Carey, ZNS News.
We can also tell you that traffic police are looking into two separate car accidents in Cat Island, which left 10 people injured. We understand one of them involved a female who apparently fell from the back of a truck in New Bight during the regatta activities. The woman was airlifted to the capital and was treated for those injuries. Now, the other 9 people injured in that 4-vehicle collision in Devil's Point on Saturday are also being treated. 3 of them were also brought to New Providence due to their serious injuries. 2 of them are still detained in hospital tonight. Cat Island, as we reported, was the scene of the country's 77th murder. The victim, 22-year-old Jeremy Webb, was at the regatta site when he was stabbed to his lower stomach. He later died in hospital. We spoke with his grieving family outside the police station in New Bight, and Jeremy's cousin says the family wants answers.
Jeremy was a very friendly person. He was a well-mannered person. In order to hear Jeremy's voice, you would actually have to be the person bothering with him. And for us, the Dean and Webb family, I just wish that we get justice as soon as possible and we get some closure to this nightmare.
Meantime, plans are being devised for a new mini hospital in Cat Island, which has seen a population surge in recent years. That from Deputy Prime Minister and Cat Island MP Philip Brave Davis. His comments came amidst a series of medical emergencies on the island during this holiday weekend's regatta, including a major traffic accident and that fatal stabbing.
Perhaps we as government ought to consider that to have what I call mobile units, mobile medical units, come to family islands where they're having events such as this as a support to what is presently there as a local, for the local community. Because as you would note, I mean, our population on Cat Island probably trebled this weekend because of the amount of people that are here. And accidents do happen, and we must be able to respond to that. Ordinarily, the facilities that are here may have been able to deal with some of the things, but what we had today, I think we need to be considering bringing in what I call some mobile support and additional personnel to be on family islands where they're having events.
Well, here's Mr. Davis on plans for the proposed facility.
Those plans have been pulled off the shelf, they've been dusted off, they've been revised and tweaked to meet the evolving needs of hospital facilities. And once that is done, we will be going to bid to have that mini hospital complete.
Well, still to come in the Bahamas tonight, the Attorney General defends her swift justice initiative. That's after the break.